it's one that actually got him into a little bit of trouble. Perhaps you've heard of J.B. Long. He was one of those iconic talent scouts who'd go all over the country and find rural folks that he thought would be prime for selling records. Fuller was one of those musicians, and J.B. Long actually gave him the moniker Blind Boy. Allegedly. That's what they say on the internet anyway. Long worked for Columbia, so when Blind Boy started recording for Decca, it created quite the tussle between the two of them. So Weepin' Willow, along with a bunch of other tunes that Blind Boy recorded for Decca, actually, caused a threat of a lawsuit because Long claimed that Blind Boy was under contract, which was a total lie. See, but J.B. Long, he was a man of business, and so he'd do whatever he had to do. It totally freaked Decca out enough that they didn't even put out the records. And a few months later, Fuller goes out and records it for Columbia, or ARC, like a subsidiary under Columbia, and they re-recorded the tunes, or at least 4 of them, under different names. So Ain't Getting Along is actually Weepin' Willow.
And that weepin' willow, and that morning dew.
It's the exact same tune, but it does not have the same feeling.
Lord, that weepin' willow, and that morning dew.
Thankfully, after Fuller's death, Decca just snuck the releases out, figuring they were less of a threat then. And thank God they did, because Weepin' Willow, man, it is a great tune, and we should learn that tune. We should probably learn it right now. It's Capo 3. You gotta do Capo 3 for this one. It's gonna be A shapes, like Untrue Blues. If you've checked out that tutorial I have, we're playing out of the A shapes, but it's sounding out of C. So this first chord here, you've got this A shape, and you also have to make use of this A shape with your third finger in the bass. You kind of see what I mean with this first phrase. It's really beautiful. The voice leading is incredible, I think. So you've got your open A, and then you're playing an A chord. You're kind of mostly just pinching these 2 outer strings, and then you play them open, and then you're playing these 3 lower strings. You'll also notice on the tab there are a few of these doubled up E and A strings on the A chord. Now, it's because he kind of hits the E string instead of the A string when he plays this phrase. I don't think that sounds that great when I do it myself. It does sound nice when he does it, but so it's just kind of an option. You can hit either or, you can hit both, and they're going to sound good. And then we move to a D minor. Now, not a lot of A songs use like A to D minor. You do hear it in you hear that move in songs. Usually it's like an A chord to a D major to a D minor. Apparently the Beatles have used that move enough where it's coined the Beatles chord. But this song doesn't do it like that. It doesn't go from the 1 chord to the 4 to the minor 4. It just plays a minor 4 chord. And so it gives this illusion that it's like a minor song. But it's not. It's still an A major. We just make use of that minor chord. So here's what he does. Back to our A. Slightly different, the rhythm's slightly different there, and we repeat that twice. So we've got this A major lick, a D minor lick, back to the A for 2. Then we go to the D minor, back to the A for 2. Kind of just a blues, but we have a minor 4 chord. The only thing we have to change is actually that last A chord. We do have to do a little walk up into that E7. I'll show you what I mean here. And then the pattern for this E7 chord. And then on the and of 4, we do a stumble into the 4th fret for the next D7 chord. This is where it kind of starts getting crazy, so I'm going to play that passage. We're playing this D7 chord, which is probably a D7 chord you haven't played before, because I haven't. And it's necessary though to get all these licks. So once we stumble into that 4th fret on the D string, we have to pinch that open B and play this little line. And I don't do any hammer-ons. I just play it all with strikes. Did you get that? I'll do it a little slower. perfectly. So I'm going to play that E7 to D7 one time here. There's one lick left in the song, and it's actually the hardest lick of the song. Yay! It's really unique too. It's an A7 shape, but you're playing it 2 frets high. So that's the lick, and here's how I finger it. I use 3rd finger, and then I pull that off to 2. I don't like to do it pulling off from the 1st finger because it just doesn't get the same snap. So I just go like this. And then we just kind of rock a little rhythm onto that A chord last. And that brings us back to the top of the tune. So that's the full tune. I have a playthrough, a nice slow playthrough, so you can play along with that. And the tab available over on the Patreon. So I've been doing a whole bunch of Blind Boy tunes. There's a whole batch of them. So if you want to check out any of the other ones, you can check them out here. Otherwise, I don't know. I hope to see you at something else. So hope you like this tune and have a fun time playing it. Thanks.